Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and I'm going to go through the Bay of Drowned Wishes for Season 16. This is Season of the Risen, and I'm going to try and do this with just weapons that are available to us as of right now. Is this an optimal loadout? No. Are there much more viable options that are going to be available from previous seasons? Oh yeah. But currently as we stand, there's not a ton of options for some of these slots, the way you've got to kind of dip into damage types and things like that. So I'm going to give you guys a basic loadout, and hopefully if you've been playing for a little while, you have different options. But if you're new, theoretically you can get it done with this stuff. Champions Overload and Unstoppable Burn is Arc, so you're going to want to make sure at least your heavy is Arc, so you can get that bonus damage there when you need it for champions and the boss. Shields are Void. You're going to have not too many Void shields, but mainly one really annoying one because he's far away, which kind of explains why part of my loadout is a bit annoying. But I'm going to run Void subclass. It's just going to give me the alternative of Overload Grenades as kind of a backup option in case I do want to use those for a little bit of range, depending on the potential and placement. I'm going to use the Peace of Mind. It is the Season of the Risen Pulse Rifle. Just whatever loadout I think I crafted on this first one is what I've got, and it's able to put in some work. You've got Land Tank on that one, so that's not too bad. Funnel Web. I got a Subsistence Frenzy one. I feel like Subsistence and Adrenaline Junkie is probably going to be better because Frenzy takes like 12 seconds to proc, and then half the time, sometimes you're not, you're running away or dodging or something. I don't feel Frenzy was up as much as I would have liked. Subsistence, not so bad, but I'll take a damage perk over that one. Now, the reason is there are not a lot of Void options in these categories of Pulse Rifle, Hand Cannon, and Auto Rifle. Auto Rifle is Gnawing Hunger. That is mostly the one outside of a couple raid auto rifles. So Gnawing Hunger, I don't even know if you can get. If it can, it's from probably the World Loot Pool, and that's a very low chance of randomness. Then you go to SMGs. Well, you do have the Funnel Web dropping the loot pool, so this is one some of you guys are going to have. Pulse Rifles that are Void. You've got like Last Perdition and Grid Skipper, I think. Both of those, I don't know if either of those are attainable right now. So that kind of eliminates those. And then if not bows, then you've got hand cannons. Hand cannons are going to be, I think, the Ikelos one, which can be from the World Loot Pool, maybe like a Zur or a Banshee possible run through. Or you're going to have something like the Bottom Dollar if you're going to grind out Gambit and then try and get an Engram to drop it for the first time and then maybe focus it later on. But you're going to have to get some randomness if you've never had one drop before. So, but that takes playing a lot of Gambit. So this is kind of where I came to a reasonable option. Arc for heavy. We literally got no arc heavy weapons this season besides this. Now, you did get the exotic if you bought the season pass. Grand Overture, probably not a bad option for this one, honestly. Those missiles could probably nuke a champion pretty well if you put the damage in. And you can hold 60 in reserves total, so you can actually put in some work. Trying not to use exotics though, but that actually would not be a horrible option if you're comfortable with how it fires. I went with my Tarnation Grenade Launcher. Mine does have field prep on it. And I'm running Grenade Launcher Reserve, so I hold a total of 24, which did help. But I crafted this one. Chain Reaction's not required, but I did spend the time to level this thing up, so yeah, this is my crafted one. So that's what I got for a loadout. I am running Well of Tenacity. I don't even think I got too many Void Wells, so most of this isn't going to matter. Elemental Armaments, sometimes procced. One I would highly recommend it, even if you don't have like a great reserve option and you want to go double up on this one for survivability, that'd be a good idea because the arc hurts, and the stuff that's going to hurt you the most is arc. The Screebs exploding, the champion or the chieftains throwing all those little arc bouncing balls at you. All of that's arc. So if you went like this instead of reserves, no one would blame you. I promise you. Enduring Wells just makes them last a little longer. If I do see any Font of Might, I probably didn't get to take advantage of. And Reaping Well Maker, if I do actually use my class item and kill something, I'll at least have a well drop. So that's like the rare moment I get a well. Overall, not exactly like an optimal loadout. Just make sure you got your scavengers, your ammo finders, and reserves are optional for your heavy. Other than that, that pretty much covers the loadout. This will be Bay of Drowned Wishes on Master difficulty. Maybe with a couple deaths, we'll see how this goes. So here we go. All right, so when you begin, I would just run to this side of the cave over here and just start working these guys down from range. You're going to be dealing with quite a few Screebs. You can work those down slow. Quite a few Stalkers coming in. And we do have one big guy out there. Now, that one's a little more difficult. So honestly, depending on what you're running, I would probably get some damage in from range. Well, I got some Screebs to explode, so that's not all bad. But again, if you want to sit here and try and nail this guy down from range with just your pulse rifle, It's going to be a really slow process. There's also a lot of Screeb that want to kill you, and as their arc, they will actually kill you at 1580. They will just mess you up. And again, if you don't kill him, you are probably going to get killed because those guys are arc and they will absolutely hurt. Now, he is likely finishable, so if I can stun him. I don't know how there are so many of these Screebs right now. It's getting to be a little ridiculous with that, but that's okay. At least I can probably finish him. There we go. One set. Try to make sure you don't let those slow grenades actually explode because those things will mess you up pretty good. Again, any of these types of things you can take out, the better off you're likely going to be. Apparently I'll wound all of the Screeb, but not kill them. You can play a little ringer on the rosy with this rock. It takes so much heavy just to kill him. That's why, honestly, I prefer the other side of the other side of like a tarantula, for example. It's just going to be more reliable. You get the crit damage, and it's just a direct hit. You're not trying to arc a grenade out there anywhere. Oh, I got one coming around on me there. And almost lost it there. So I need to start seeing some ammo dropping. I've got Scavenger, I've got Ammo Finder, I've got reserves on. Not getting much in the way of ammo right now. Alright. So again, very slow process taking out this champion. Because honestly, a grenade from this far, very unreliable. Just very unreliable. But what other arc heavies do you have this season? Quite truly, none. You could try and get a Sleepless from the Dreaming City. You could try and get a random rocket to drop from Banshee. But again, there's not a place for me to look up that table and tell you what comes from where. It just, that doesn't exist. If you can use those Screeb to get a little extra damage on him, sure. But I feel like the longer I take to kill this guy, the more of the Screeb start spawning. Yeah, they just keep stunning. I swear every time you spawn one of these champions, they just straight up. And that's one of those moments where you actually can probably get a few kills if they're all on top of each other. Okay. Next thing you're going to have is an Overload champion, at least one. I'm not sure if there's two on Master since I haven't run this one yet this season. You're going to eventually have a Raider back there. It's your sniper. Those guys all of a sudden just are brutal. They have a Void Shield. Now, as I don't have a lot of Void options, I'm sitting here running with an SMG. I could die trying to get to that guy. If that happens, forgive me, but we'll see how this goes. But your idea is going to be use all the cover that you can. Notice him back there. I can't do much damage to him with the kinetic. It's kind of pointless for me to try. I'm going to try and throw any abilities I've got out there. I did get a heavy brick to drop, which is a bonus. And right now, you're just going to play this cover back here that you've got. Clear out any explosives. Make sure those aren't going to get you. Clear out any Screebs that are coming. Watch both sides. You don't have a radar, so you really got to peek both sides. And again, not really messing with him until we get to a later point. Now, part of me wants to take out this Void guy. If I can get to him is the question. I don't know if my grenade arm can actually go that far. Did get some grenades. That's good for the heavy. But you also notice he never really runs out of ammo. Only reason he does is if he's kind of in a tough spot. So again, using your cover is really important on this one. Now the reason I'm staying back, the shielded guy is up there. And my ability to take out that shield is very limited with this weapon. Now, if I can break that shield, I probably can kill him with a pulse rifle. That's about as unoptimal as it gets, but technically we got it done. So now I can push up a little closer. Listen for the screams. Again, a lot of them will spawn. Now, they're going to be nice for ammo, which is good, so I would make sure your heavy is reloaded. If you are going to make a push on that overload champion, good to make sure your heavy's in a good spot. Now, at this point, I can unload on him. Let's see how much damage I can do just sitting right here. But I got to make sure I unload. Now, this is the point where you got to go for a finisher. And if you die out here, that's okay. But if you get him low enough, and all those screams are around, that's where you've got to go for the kill. Now, it's not going to reset you completely, which is good. But you're going to have to unload everything from a grenade launcher. And again, I crafted mine to where I have field prep on it. And I might even have an extended clip, I'm not sure. But I've got 7 in the mag, which is quite a bit. Now, I'm running, as I said, Scavenger and Ammo Finder, and those guys are still going to take me out. That's why I said the Scream hurt a ton. Zero question that those are going to mess you up. It's Arc Burn, and those guys will one-shot you. So again, on Master, these are not always exactly the most farmable, but lately for, like, without using a whole bunch of exotics or old loot that I have, and a Tarantula, and then maybe a Last Perdition Pulse Rifle, like, there's a lot of options I have, but I know the average person does not. So I'm trying to show you guys a way to get this done without having, you know, 4 years of loadout options, because I know you don't. Now, at some point, there's somebody else running around, but there's also usually one more unstoppable champion that spawns. Now, where is my straggler here? Told you one was here. He was around, just a little farther than I thought he would be. Really, we're just gonna ring around the rosy? Come on, buddy. Again, I have like a lot in the chamber there, but I know not everybody has that one. But again, use that finisher when you can. It's always worthwhile. But that should be all of the Scream. So that's the first room. Now we've got the second. And again, you can do this in time because you have the ability to theoretically... Now, one thing I would do, all of these little rolly balls, blow them up. Don't even keep them alive up here, because having them explode near you is just going to kill you instead of everything else you're trying to kill. You're going to have a lot of enemies that jump up. That's not where I wanted that grenade to go, because I could have used that to actually stun the champion. Since it is a void grenade, I could overload stun him. But that did not happen, unfortunately. Use your abilities, though. This is still Void 3.0, and at Master Difficulty, I'm going to use Void 3.0, and you're crazy if you think I'm not. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. You can unload with a SMG for a little while, trying to keep the damage output on them, but that arc burn is going to hurt like crazy. So if you die, that's okay. But if you do, you better be ready to go absolutely crazy with your heavy and finish them, and then run. Because this is when you get the next set of stuff to spawn. And when I say run, I do mean it. All the way back. You can have some stuff coming up here. You can shoot these guys in the lantern. It's a good way to kill them. You can have some ads back there, plus another overload champion. So again, if you can throw a grenade back there, I'm just going to get nuked by a grenade at my feet. When you throw that grenade that you don't have a lot of opportunity to throw very often, you're going to have to commit to it. But if I tell you where to get a Void auto rifle, I don't even think I could tell you where to get one right now. So your other option is an SMG. Or Void Pulse, very not easy to come by, or Void hand cannon. Theoretically doable, but just not likely as much of an option. So the little guys mostly died. So at this point, I can go for the unload. Didn't even get enough kill on him. I need to get him to where... Now, he's bouncing his rounds in front of me, which works. And then, theoretically, if I can get enough damage on him, I can finish him up. And then the boss is going to spawn along with a bunch of other stuff. So, once again, run back and retreat. I'm low on heavy, but I'm not really worried about that at this point. Just want to take these guys as they come up. Try and let their explosive little lanterns do the work for you. I don't know if you guys knew you could actually shoot those little lanterns after they're dead. But again, this guy's gonna hurt a little bit, but honestly, the bosses in these things, never that bad. Like for a 1580 boss, I'll be able to whittle him down, normal. Now I'm trying to get a grenade back there on those guys, clear out the bonus ads. So it's just me, theoretically a very laggy guy up there, and then just the boss. But it is just me and him. Now apparently I've done enough damage. Got more ads coming this way, so be ready for them to pop up. Get enough of them to hop. Get a nice little explosion. But again, all this is still under 15 minutes. So it's theoretically, yes, it's doable. I am like 1572, 3, 4, somewhere like that. For a Master Lost Sector. I'm still trying to do this a little under leveled. So yes, it is doable. But just the convoluted nature of like trying to tell somebody where to get some of this stuff from seems a little on the ridiculous side. At least personally it does. Now we got a lot more of them coming up, so really let them hopefully explode each other. They're not going to be nice on the ammo front. Hopefully I got a grenade I can use. And a couple more shots on the pulse. And that's a wrap. So it is 12 minutes. I literally got 100,000 points on a lost sector. There's so many ads in this one. Open Sesame. I got a Hallowfired Heart, so that is platinum rewards, or at least it generally should be. And that is the Bay of Drowned Wishes in about 12 minutes with no exotics, no supercast, and a loadout that you can actually get this season right now if you own both Witch Queen and Season of the Risen. Back outside and we'll finish this thing up. Alright, so that basically wraps up the Bay of Drowned Wishes. That is at Master difficulty without using an exotic and pretty much mostly weapons from the season, which is what I'm trying to do. Kind of a very specific loadout. It depends on how long you've been playing. If you have older weapons, if you've got a Tarantula for a linear fusion rifle, if you've got a Last Perdition for a pulse rifle, and then you want to use a decent auto rifle for here and there, like a Scathelocke or something, sure, all of those options will work. But this is just a way to show you guys you can get it done. You've got the time. If you're, you know, kind of comfortable with what you're dealing with, it's not that long of a place to do. So even in 12 minutes with a couple of deaths you guys saw, it's still totally doable. So hopefully this helped you. If it did, drop a like below, leave a comment if you've got questions. If you've got a loadout you love, let us all know, and hopefully we'll see some cool comments with good loadout options. If you guys enjoyed this one, please drop a like. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis, streaming on Twitch, which will usually be Destiny or Elden Ring for a little while, and then on YouTube. If you guys are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button, hit the alert bell. Makes my videos make it to you easier through the YouTube algorithm. And for those of you who are YouTube channel members or Patreon subscribers, thank you for that extra support. All of you are amazing, though. Have a good one. I'll see you soon.